Students, good evening. I hope you are well and keeping safe. I thought I should just make contact through a video note to wish you all the luck for tomorrow. As you know, we will formally be beginning our emergency online teaching. I'm sure that many of you are apprehensive. This is only natural. But if we approach this with a can-do attitude, I'm sure that this can be a worthwhile learning experience. Yes, we will make mistakes. Academics will make mistakes. Students will make mistakes. But if we decide to fix those mistakes, if we learn from those mistakes, if there are challenges, we will find pragmatic solutions to those challenges, then I think this could become a learning experience that holds us in good stead. There are some student leaders who've asked me not to go on online teaching or to postpone it until all of our students have a device. This is unfortunately an interpretation of social justice that goes to the lowest common denominator. I and the university do not share that interpretation of social justice. We believe that that interpretation of social justice, which goes to the lowest common denominator, is anti-developmental, and it's against the interests of our people and of our institutions. It will deepen the inequality divides in our world. We have a different interpretation of social justice, one that is more developmentally oriented. And this definition of social justice says that we must be conscious of the inequalities in our midst, and we must mitigate those consequences. We mustn't adopt an attitude that says it's going to defeat us. Rather, we must recognize the inequalities, understand what forms they take, and create mechanisms to mitigate the consequences of those inequalities. In that regard, the university went out and set up a computer loan bank. Effectively, we bought 5,000 devices, and we will be sending them to students who do not have a device. This is an example of mitigating the consequences of inequality. In addition to that, we've negotiated an arrangement to provide each and every student with 30 gigabytes of data, 10 gigabytes at any time and 20 gigabytes for the evenings. And this is to ensure that not only do you get access to our zero-rated sites, but that you also have the opportunity to participate in classes and that you have the opportunity to explore other educational sites that are required for your learning. So these are examples of our attempts to mitigate the inequality challenges that exist within our midst. We do not believe that our students should miss out on learning for the next 3 months. And we should make every effort to ensure that we complete the academic program, because this allows you to complete the academic year, to graduate, and to then go on into the job market in your chosen professions. We have said to academics that we should begin the first 2 weeks with a soft touch, allow people to acclimatize to the online learning process. In this way, students that don't have devices will get an opportunity to also participate as part of this learning process. All of our lectures are videoed and copies are on our learning management systems. So even if students get the devices late by a day or two, they can access those lectures, listen to them, and be fully prepared as those students who had their devices from day one. All of the devices should be with the students effectively by the end of this week. Already, many devices have been taken by the South African Postal Service and are en route and should reach many students by Monday. Other devices will reach students in the coming days thereafter. But all of the devices would have been delivered by the end of the week. I do want to say, let's make the most of this effort. We've been dealt a bad card. The pandemic is not something that any of us anticipated. But let's rise to the challenge to overcome the challenges that this pandemic has put in our path. and make sure that this pandemic is not allowed to stop our learning process. We will ensure that those students who've not been able to engage in online learning, that we give them an opportunity to also complete the academic year. We will have boot camps. We will restructure the academic calendar. We will run special classes to ensure that every one of our students is given an opportunity to complete the 2020 academic year. So with that, I want to say, I wish you all the luck for tomorrow. Use this learning experience in the best way that you can. Have a can-do attitude, and let us defeat this pandemic by making sure that our learning process has not been compromised. Thank you.